For my project, I created a horror game where the player is a mechanic and their goal is to repair underwater theme park attractions before their oxygen runs out. If the player does not repair the monsters correctly, they will be killed by them. For the design of the main animatronic monster in my game, I did a bit of research into Submechanophobia, which is the fear of submerged man-made objects such as statues, or in this case animatronics, like on all those underwater Disney rides. Some films and even games such as Subnautica have all taken advantage of this specific fear to keep their players on edge. Where I got the main inspiration for the monster was actually from an animatronic that's located here in Australia at Murray Bridge called the Bunyip. So once I got my reference and had drawn out designs on paper, I went to Blender, a program I had never used before making this model, and came out with a bag of polygons that closely resembles Bowser from the Mario movie. Peach! But it worked in the end. This is the flowchart that I created to plan out how I was going to code the game. The way I made my flowchart was like coding the game before actually going in Unity. The reason I decided to make such an in-depth flowchart was because a lot of the mechanics in my game were very specific. I also decided not to just follow a tutorial series on how to make a horror game, and instead did a lot of research and wrote a lot of my own scripts, such as a script for the oxygen timer and the red eyes the monster has. For the user interface, I created a start menu which allows the player to quit the game or start a new game. I also made a user interface for the mechanics in my game, such as the oxygen timer, which displays what the player's oxygen level is. If the oxygen runs out, the death screen will then be displayed, which will give the player the choice between restarting the level or exiting the game. For my oxygen timer, I looked up different methods of how others have coded timers in Unity and how they were displayed. In the end, I combined a few different scripts to write my own script for the oxygen timer. The script I made for the oxygen in my game creates a countdown timer that starts at a specific total time and decreases until it reaches 0, updating a text UI element to display the remaining time. The script uses this function to round up the remaining time to the nearest integer for display purposes. An if statement is used to check the timer has run out. If the timer has run out, the script loads a new scene. This is the flashlight script that I use. The script uses a boolean variable to track whether the flashlight is on or off, and the setActive method to activate or deactivate the flashlight object. My script also includes two audio sources that play sounds when the flashlight is turned on or off, which is achieved using the play method. The update method checks for user input and toggles the flashlight object and audio sources accordingly. Overall, the script demonstrates basic object manipulation and the use of audio in a game. In conclusion, when I first started this project, I was very excited about the idea for my game and all the things I wanted to add to it. But in the end, a combination of not having a guide in the form of a tutorial series or something similar, and my extremely poor time management skills, I wasn't able to make the finished project what I originally wanted it to be. Overall, what I was trying to do was make a full game and all the assets for it while still learning how Unity and Blender work. So I think next time I'm going to make a more simple idea and work a lot on time management, and hopefully I will finally actually finish making a game. Anyway, that's the end of my presentation for my digital tech assignment. Thank you for watching.